Hello, everyone. I'm sorry. Ian Ileana here. Attempt number two. Trying to maybe live anywhere else but America. Anywhere else where I don't have creepy women constantly trying to grab me or my service animals. No easy way to say this. Canada broke up with me. Years and years and years of listening to Canadian music, watching Canadian shows, loving Canadian actors. And the one time I tell them, you know what, I don't even really want to live there, but could you maybe introduce me to an immigration lawyer, a refugee lawyer, or someone who can just do human rights law so that I could be heard as a human being, even though I am a mutant? And Canada just said, no, no, you're American. Go. He gave me the option. You could go before a judge and argue your case. But first, we'd, obviously have to detain you, arrest you, hold you in a cell for months. And, or you could just, go to your side of the fucking dotted line on a fucking map. A dotted line on a fucking map, and they think that they're better than me? Canada thinks it's better than me because you drew a dotted line on the map? Are we really that petty as creatures on this earth that you see people coming for hope, for safety, and you say, "You know what? We have a dotted line and that squiggle on a map. That means something a little bit more than can we help you? And if we can help you, we can, but they just didn't want to. And also they were trying to make a point about how America detains people and the whole ICE thing, and the guy was just going off on my president, which in a way is extremely offensive to me because the dude is still my president. But yeah, I even had to sign a thing of, I rescind my application to come over to years of loving Canadian art, loving it, and thinking one day I'll be cool enough that maybe one of those artists would want to work with me. See past my PTSD, give me the confidence to be a superstar. But Canada just said, no, no. I've never been this heartbroken before. I've been dumped by men. I've been dumped by men. Nothing hurts more than Canada saying, we don't love you that much. He didn't say that literally, but I'm in America right now, so Canada just didn't love me enough. So they go through all my stuff. We talk about X-Men. We talk about a lot of Wolverine things because, Canadians, what you gonna do? I pretty much do my mutant thing. And then he goes on, this riff of, there are people in war torn countries that come here with bullet wounds. And I'm not going to argue with a Canadian about something that we both know is true. But how many transgender people are murdered in America? How many transgender people have stab wounds from Americans? What the fuck happened to Matthew Shepard? He didn't walk into a fence post. America did that to him. And I'm a person of color who's two spirit. I swish for my Katy Perry fans. And in America, that's a death sentence. Yeah, you think that level of homophobia, oh my God, that's the Middle East. Oh, those people, those people. No, no, Americans do that. Some Canadians do that too, but probably not that many, and not in every village. I'm heartbroken. I don't know how to move forward from this. Not only am I homeless in a way that I haven't been homeless in quite a while, I'm gonna have to go into a shelter because some government agent decided to fucking hug me on a train, strand me in Seattle. It hurts so much that I can't find the words. I can't think. I could barely eat. There's just it's like all the life just drained right out of me when I get the little notification in your phone. Congratulations, you are in Canada. You're entitled to this much of high speed data. But that's as close as I got to Canada because according to them, I just didn't have enough money. I'm literally dripping in jewels, but I didn't have enough money at that particular time to say, yeah, I was going to pay for a hotel. I'm an indigenous person. At the very least, I was going to apply for my refugee status. And then once I have my refugee status, go get a yurt. Go live with my people. Not this. Not this. So they tell me no. And, just march me back. They help me with my luggage. So Canadians always polite, even when they're saying fuck you for being an American. Fuck you for being an American that's oppressed and just fuck you. Wow. Two spirit transgender person comes to your country for help and just wow. Just I can't be angry about it. I'm just because if the shoe was on the other foot, our borders should mean something, but then we have so much going on in this world. You don't have the luxury of saying, you know what, the genius who fold proteins for the COVID vaccine. Oh yeah, stay in America. Stay in America where they kill gay people. What? Ah. Hello, Wrangler. Are you from Ghana? I think everybody is from Ghana, if I'm being honest. Like even the whitest white person or the Asianist Asian person. It's a terrible way to say that. But yeah, they're all black. They're all from Africa. Yes, actually I did. It was a concerted effort. But when other people were watching the news and saying, oh my God, someone should do something about the COVID vaccine, I booted up my fucking PC, I downloaded the software, and I started folding proteins. So, yes, I am responsible for your COVID vaccine. Never forget that. Never forget that a two spirit transgender person put the needs of others above their own. Donald Trump appreciates your effort. Operation Warp Speed. I guess you're a Trump fan. Of course, I'm a Trump fan. I'm a Trump fan because number one, the man is dismantling most things in America. Most things in America that were doing nothing. He dismantled the Department of Veteran Affairs. He started firing half those people. Why? Because deep down, those people were just fucking parasites. They would have you come to the office and go, yeah, you're dealing with that issue, right? Okay, go home. Yeah, you're still dealing with that issue, right? Okay, okay, go home. As opposed to, you know what you need? You need some land. You need to find a fucking boyfriend, girlfriend, even a fuck buddy that can build a fucking house. That's what you need. But of course, the government doesn't get involved in those kind of things. But the fact that there isn't a veteran land grant guaranteed, not the VA loan, a veteran land grant, because sometimes you just want some land to yourself, some property where, just like Canada said, get the fuck out without saying get the fuck out, because they're not those kind of people. Which hurts me more because it was it was the most polite get the fuck out I've ever experienced in my life. It's like they pitied me, but they were just so fucking brainwashed by all the fucking news and the we hate Trump. Is like, yeah, you do. It's like, do you listen to him? Do you know him? Do you understand why he does the things he does? He fucking raised the tariffs, and I have to say, good. Do you know the value of American goods? Do you know the value of Canadian goods? Your whole countries are falling apart. Both sides of that fucking dotted line. The idiots aren't even saying, you know what? I think it's time to raise some tariffs. I think it's time to say if you want Disney so much in Canada, you should pay some extra money for that. I mean, no, that's not going to win me any Canadian fans, but I mean, that's how I feel. If you were making Disney content in Canada, then you would have a say in that, but you're not. You come to Disney because you say you want that Star Wars. You come to Disney because you say you want Marvel. And by the way, Having Canadians touch all my lightsabers and my sex toys. Oh my god. Nothing but Canadian women just all over my dildo, all over my fuck toys. Oh my god. My fucking vibrator is just like going off in the background. I'm just like, please enjoy that. Please enjoy. Which is another thing that I'm pretty sure Canadians gonna be like, oh god damn this Americans. I'm like, what? You know, you thought I was gonna come to your country and not fuck some hot French Canadians? Have you seen Francois? Either way, I support my president. I support my president. Not in everything, and I don't keep up to date with some of the latest antics or things that he does, but he defunded the EPA, and I had to say, as an environmentalist, it's about damn time. Because when you're an environmentalist, you just put it off. You you let go. You give up. You just you just give up. You do some cleanups, you pick up some litter every now and then, but you stay in these cities. Before I left Seattle, before I left, I picked up some litter. Not a lot, just enough to remind myself of who I am. I'm a person who wants that. I want people to either not litter at all or to pick up litter, not cause pollution or solve it. And that's just not America. And that's not Canada either. But Canada is more than just cities. And America is more than just cities. On the way to the Canadian border, I actually looked at my country, and my country is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And I don't experience that beauty because number one, I'm a rock star, I'm not a forest ranger, and I have zero to null school, just null skills for mountaineering. I want to climb that mountain, but I want a Starbucks every fucking 500 feet. Oh my god, yeah. I don't know. I'm here in America. So they marched me over back to the United States, giving me a lecture of, you know, we could detain you, put you in a cell for months. I'm like, yeah, I know you can do that. And if it wasn't for the fact that I have my puppers, my lovely service animals, I mean, I guess I could go through with that. I mean, at the very least, you sit, you read a book. I perfect my French at the very least. They marched me over to America, and America is just welcome back to America. You can do whatever you want. You can go wherever you want. You can ride off into the sunset as far as whatever can take you. Forgive me, but I just don't really feel the freedom when I have some weird woman run up to me, put her arm around me. We're So here I am in America. It doesn't feel like freedom. And Canada wouldn't feel like freedom to me either. So I have to find a homeless shelter, even though technically I don't need a homeless shelter. Homeless shelters are for people who are either junkies or they want an apartment at the end of the rainbow. Me personally, it's I could buy myself a nice little chunk of land and then say I live there. Put a house there. Put a yurt there. Put a fucking yogurt stand there. I don't know. I could get creative. I just don't want a house in a fucking suburb. I don't want a flat or apartment. I I'm kind of doing that with the whole, hopping around from swanky place to swanky place, but at least at the end of it, you just say, "Okay, well, I'm done." Whatever your vibe was that was fucking creeping me out that made me fucking leave, I leave. And now these Americans are pretty much saying, no, 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 no. You have to fucking put down roots. You have to. It's like I'm not your fucking child. Like, what the fuck is this? I want ambassadorships so fucking badly right now. Mostly because this is the kind of thing that you argue. You argue, okay, fine, fine. Canada said, we don't want you. Wow. At the very least, where are the fucking sanctions? Where's the repercussions for America's war on gay? Where is that? Because Americans are just so fucking chicken shit when it comes to defending your right to be a cocksucker or a cunt licker. Gay people are many things, but in America, it's outrage, fear, sadness, and then ooh, what's the next song? They move on. They Matthew Shepard happened, and gay people still found a way to just move past it. That name is forever etched in my head. I don't know the guy. I don't know what he did or what he stood for or what he wanted out of life, but the fact that his is gone because Americans decided that they didn't want gays in the area. That hurts. That hurts. I board the bus to come back deeper into America, And of course, they dump me at the bottom of some fucking hill, and I have my luggage and my puppers. So I'm struggling. I'm just absolutely struggling. I had to pay Uber to go across the street because the hill was such an incline and I had luggage. If I was just hiking, it wouldn't make a difference because that would have been fun. It would have been invigorating. But I have luggage and I have nowhere to put my luggage. And to white people, to white people, it's well, I mean, you have to have a four-walled place to put that. You can't just leave it there and say, "Don't take my stuff," because we're Americans. We will rob. Really? This is the country I have to put up with. This is offensive to me as an indigenous person. It's offensive to me that our idea of property has been warped because our ancestors didn't live this way. Our ancestors were stupid on a lot of things, but they were right about that. They were right about the idea of you live openly, you love openly, you live together sometimes. They didn't have this idea of, well, you better watch your neighbor. Oh, who's that coming into this town? Oh, they have nice things. Oh, okay. Well, I want those nice things. You didn't have that kind of attitude. Did they ever fight amongst themselves? Of course they did. But for the most part, there was an understanding that your domain, your area was sacred, but public areas were sacred too. How can I live in this country? How can I live in this country when they go against everything I stand for, everything my ancestors stood for? This idea that, yes, I do not like the idea of like unattended baggage, like in a in a public area. I get it. I get it. We've been conditioned to think that's wrong, and I understand that. But the idea that everything you own, everything that is you, has to be concentrated in one place because either you're afraid of someone taking your stuff or you just don't want to share. I wouldn't have a problem with America if America wasn't so selfish all the time. I get selfish sometimes too. I do. But then also say it shouldn't have to be this way. I saw an old man struggling to pay for lodging. Struggling. Where is your conscience? Any of you? Where is it? I didn't know this man, and he literally flung money at me, instead of trying to pay his fucking room and board. He has nothing, and yet still he was trying to give something to me. And yet no one around him wanted to. There are some things that you just cannot put a price on. The, the soul of my nation is so sick, is so sick that I needed either a break or I needed maybe an intervention so that maybe America could look at itself in a mirror. Maybe America could look at itself and say, you know what, this thing that you do to disabled person is wrong. The thing you do of constantly trying to paw at him, paw at his fucking service animals, is wrong. But then it's also wrong to ignore the plight of other people, not have any provisos, any provisions for people like him. This is an elderly man, older than me, but probably not that much. I don't know why people drink. They get that liquor, and then I don't know. The crypt keeper starts fucking showing up in their mirrors. Oh my god! I swear the guy could not possibly be that much older than me. But damn, just like time is a motherfucker sometimes. But either way, as I cast shade, I'm still hurt that you know he he's struggling. He's struggling, but I don't understand why he's struggling. I need America to just understand what a public good is. A public good, like, as if you lived in Africa, as if you lived in any other fucking country that had good, decent manners, where you say, you know what, you always treat older people with respect. Always. You treat the poor with respect. The beggars you fucking treat with respect. Do you fucking say, hey, here's a mansion, live in it? No, because even a mansion is a, a prison of the fucking mind. But do we need to start thinking about all these empty fucking buildings in America? Empty buildings where they're not making a dime. They're not making a dime. They're waiting for some giant fucking mega project that nobody even fucking wants. I look at these American mega apartment complexes that say we have a restaurant in our building. Oh, and we've got a shopping mall, we've got a supermarket, got a fitness center, oh, rooftop party. Nobody wants to live there. Nobody. You can put as much signs as you want. The building is empty for years. Building is empty. You've got apartments in there. Nobody lives in it. Nobody probably will ever live in it. While homeless people, they're on the street in the middle of the winter. They're cold. The shelters are all full. And then you look at these giant mega apartment buildings and you just say, well, is that full? Now that's somebody's property. But what is the real value of that if it never gets used? They're vacant little lots. Weeds overturned it and just it's hideous to fucking look at. It's still a place to maybe put a tent, a little mobile home. I don't know. If I had grown up in a reservation, I would know my people. I would know my culture, I would know where I belong, but I didn't. And now I'm trying to understand that side of me more, and they just keep shoving some white bullshit on me. Out of the tent and into the fucking town. And you say, well, I actually prefer the tent. It's nice, it's cozy. It's got my two favorite dogs. I like the tent. I like camping. I like being outdoors. I like seeing the stars. I don't I don't like cities. And Canada literally just said, our forests are our forests, our mountains are our mountains, and we're not willing to share that, even for someone who's being tortured by their government. Could not even wait till we left the American fucking detention center before some woman tried to grab my service animals, like feet away from federal officers. You just you could not resist America. You could not. You just have to keep torturing and torturing and torturing. But that just means that I spend less and less and less and less. You give me less, I give you less too. You lose a customer. I grow my beard. I guess I live alone, but I'll live free as much as freedom exists somewhere in America, but it's not in these cities, it's not in these towns. I haven't been to every single town. I don't know how I'm gonna do that now. Never in my darkest days did I think Canada, a country filled with empathy, would turn to a transgender two spirit person and say, you're just not suffering enough. Not those words exactly, but when you try and make a false equivalency of someone being blown to bits in Ukraine to, you didn't exactly make that exact thing, but when you're talking about war-torn countries, it's like there's only so many. But I understand that. Like, help those people, but could you help me too? Help me know my people. Help me help my people. Because my people are getting fucked over by chemical spills in their fucking tribal water. And I don't know. I check Canadian news on occasion. I haven't heard anything about that. I need to check again. But that's 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 a country that said no to me. So I guess I have to let that go. I have to abandon my instincts to care more than just about the people in this country. I have to abandon that. I can't say that America isn't a land of opportunity. There's several opportunities. There's always opportunities. Even in the darkest of dark days, there's always some light. But to me, it doesn't feel that way. It just feels hollow and empty when I think about what it means to live in a city. When you live in a city, you're just being cast. Your mind is just being warped. If it isn't constant ads, it's just fear mongering on the news. And there's never anyone to try to remind people that, America is a good place to live sometimes. But you have to be part of that. I don't really want to be part of that, but it's all I have now. You can go anywhere in America. You can ride off into the sunset. I'm sorry, I can't really see the sunset through the smoke. You'll have to point it out to me. Oh, the forest caught on fire. You'll have to point that sunset to me because I can't really see it through the smoke and fire. These Canadians said no to me. I'm an energy consultant trying to tell them that you need more solar power and that you wouldn't have these chemical spills on tribal lands if you just had solar power. They said no to me. Wow. Well, granted, I'm not exactly practicing that skill of negotiation with these ornery fucking American bastards, but I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong that Canada needs a new space station. A new space station is good for Canada. I'm not wrong about that. I'm not wrong that NASA is a fucking stupid institution staffed by idiots. Idiots who don't realize that you need to bring people into the dome, but the right one, the right system. You're having people out there in the world who are super fucking geniuses, but they gotta live in the fucking ghetto. They gotta live in squalor among criminals and thieves because your space program only takes people with degrees, only takes people with military background, as opposed to, you just need everybody. You need everybody. You need to raise the level of science in your countries. Well, I can't believe this. I mean, it's like I'm in such a position because Canada says no. I have to raise the technology of America in order to say it's an important thing to do. So I'm stuck here, but America doesn't have to be such a shitty fucking place that I run away from it. I have to make America not great again, because I hate that phrase right now, but I have to make America livable. So that's what I have to do. Because apparently the government's not doing anything. If it was, I wouldn't need to go to Canada to talk to someone about why it is that I keep having women fucking tackle me on public transit. Like, what the fuck is that shit? Like, why can't I go to the fucking FBI and say, do you see this shit? It's on my YouTube channel. Why is this white woman trying to fucking tackle me? Like, do you know this bitch? Does she work for you? Like, what is this? I don't understand any of it, but like I said, I have to make America fucking livable. Oh, and that lovely, lovely border agent, he told me, you made a plan and it didn't work out. Yeah, America just just isn't working out for me. I want to live my life as a fucking werewolf. I want to live my life as a fucking witch. I get dumped in the middle of the fucking hill, the bottom of the fucking hill, and I have all my luggage. And luckily, someone comes up behind me. It's like, can I help you with your luggage? And at this point, I've already had Canadian hands all over my fucking dildos, all over my fucking fleshlights that I fucking bone, all over my fuck. And by the way, I've got to fucking wash every last one of those things because they. Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure they were gloved hands, but even so, it's just kind of fucking skeevy. Why is travel so fucking difficult? I mean, it's true. I pretty much travel like a Bedouin, but then again, my ancestors were, so there's that. Like the guy was trying to, put a joke and say, "What do you mean? Do you intend to move in here?" Because I had a lot of luggage, but then again, I just don't see the point in putting down roots anywhere. That's just not how life works. You're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to just stay in one place and say, yeah, the sun will always rise and the sun will set and the weather will be the same. The weather's never the same. Sometimes the weather is your forest is on fire. Sometimes the weather is there's a tornado or a hurricane or there's just a cold snap. Why do you people just want to stay in one place? I mean, if you don't know who your ancestors are, maybe you should talk to them. This is the problem I have. I'm very indigenous. I just can't wrap my head around this idea anymore. I used to be able to put up with it and say, I'll suffer and suffer, but one day, that one day did come, and I made decisions in my life. And then I made the decision to just travel, enjoy traveling, enjoy making new songs and rediscovering classics. I mean, I guess I won't be doing Canadian covers as much as I used to. They weren't that very good, but I don't know. Canada just. They have a point to a certain degree because after hearing that, like, how can you not feel for these detainees and the way that they're being treated? And understanding that you can't just look at politicians and ICE, you have to say, well, you're a citizen. You have rights in that country. You have the right to speak up and say, could you treat people with dignity? If you don't want them in their country, send them home at the very least, or send them to another country. Or maybe bring that country that they're having an issue with to a fucking table and say, you got some people who are coming to my country. What's going on here? Do you need help or do you need, some guidance? Like, where's the diplomacy there? And I guess that's my fucking job in life because America is always one diplomat short. And of course, I'm not exactly a very good diplomat because I could not negotiate. I could not negotiate. Please just give me a break from these goddamn freaky Americans who always want to put their hands on my stuff, on my fucking service animals. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with Americans? They always want to fucking touch things. It's creepy as all hell. I mean, I'm pretty sure they do that shit in other fucking countries, but how would I know if I never actually been to it? And now I don't know if I ever will. Like, all I wanted was Canada. All I wanted was Canada. Just to hike and enjoy, maybe not seeing as much litter, enjoying snow. I mean, he said no for this time, but like, if I spent more money, like, I told him that I had spent $15,000 to stay in Canada. And, he's like, well, I mean, how much money do you have on you currently? And I told him, I ain't got, nothing but $19 for lap dance and one cigarette. I ain't got $19 for lap dance, one cigarette. Hmm. Well, so much for Alpha Flight. What a fucking bullshit attitude. It's, well, we'd understand your fucking refugee, plight if you just spent some more money or if you clearly defined when you were going to get the fuck out of our country. It's a squiggly line. It's a squiggly line. You people think you fucking own the earth. Wow. I had no idea that Canadians were so fucking entitled. Now, there is such a thing as nationalist pride, but then when you deny a refugee, it goes beyond nationalist pride. It goes to, you really think you own the fucking earth. And I'm looking at him and he's Asian and I am indigenous. So either way, none of us fucking own this land. But he was probably born in Canada. So he thinks he's more entitled to walk the streets of Canada than any other person. That's the attitude that humans have been fucking pushing around for so long. Now, understandably, you don't want fucking anybody just, and I am a very broken person, but I'm also a fucking brilliant artist and scientist. You don't want brilliant artists and scientists in Canada? Really? Really? Okay then. Wow. Canada just broke up with me and sent me back to America where they could not even wait until I left the border before they just tried to fucking creep me out by this redheaded woman putting her hands on my service animal. She just could not resist. And I didn't have the federal agent, but I wanted to get the federal agent back here and say, "Do you know this bitch? Do you do you want to fucking talk to her?" I didn't even bother because I just said, "This is what Americans do. They don't understand that the service animal is for the handicapped person. It's not for you. If you have a handicap, you go get yourself a service animal, have a doctor prescribe it for you, but that would be yours. Until then, leave mine alone." I don't understand what I do from here. It's well, that's not exactly true. Plan shift, but the idea of restoring America's soul is kind of important, so I'm gonna have to find a way to do it. I'm gonna have to find a way to make America livable, make America see public goods over profit, recognize that literacy is important, as I constantly get interrupted from any fucking reading I do on public transit by, "I'm sorry, could you go in a different direction?" You read, could you go to Seattle? And so I left Seattle because I'm sorry, you're a smart, rich town, but you're so dumb when it comes to environmental issues. If any place needs those algae bloom air purifiers, it's Seattle. Public goods. You keep waiting on the government to give you a fucking grant to do something like that instead of saying, "We want our people to breathe air. We want Americans to breathe air." And before I left that fucking border, they gave me a bag because they couldn't fit my sex toys. They couldn't fit my sex toys back in my luggage. Naughty bird there. She's like, I couldn't fit it all in. I couldn't. It's like honestly, like she was looking a bit like Kamala from Ms. Marvel. She was serving that realness. But anyway, she got my sex toy in her hand, and she tried to put it in the luggage, but she I had to explain to her, it's like, you're touching my sex toy, right? Oh,
I am brazen. I am brazen. Because you know what? At that point, I could already. Because you can tell that the tide was shifting. Tide was shifting. It's like you people fucking play me every fucking chance you get. First, first it was, oh, you're being abused. You're being abused by your country. Oh, but then the tone of this fucking entitled Canadian was, you know, if you if you try, it's just going to be fucking too hard. It's just going to be too hard. Just go home. Just go back to your country. Just his attitude was that. So my attitude was, you're touching my sex toy. I was just like, oh, oh, oh. So yeah, she the rest of my fucking bags, I've got three birds, like the one in the back with the blonde and the ponytail. She going through my bags, and she is just like just going through it. It's like, oh, this is paperwork. This is, it's like one of them. Okay, no, it was the Kamala one. Kamala was fucking saying to me, oh, I noticed that there's a certificate for jewelry. Where's the jewelry? I'm like, do you not see the bling around my neck? It's just like, I know Canadians can afford fucking healthcare, so like you can't see the fucking jewels on my neck. Like you don't recognize a rapper? Like this is kind of fucking bullshit because it's like I make a lot of fucking songs. It's like I don't expect you to know my fucking name, but if you know, I because I told you I'm a musician, you first thing you should have said was, okay, where's your bling? It's like my bling is right on me. Well, not right now because I'm in America, and I just don't feel safe. It's just not safe. You want to walk around like the big cock on the block with your fucking shiny peacock feathers, and Americans say, "No, mine," and it's just if you want some too, you can have some too. I don't know. I guess I'm just not capitalist enough for America. I'm really not. Because I'm looking at that kind of situation and I almost want to say, well shit, do you if you want to wear the jewels, you can wear the jewels. I want them back at some point, but yeah, go ahead. Wear the jewels for a bit. Because for me, they're kind of worthless. I don't know. I mean, I used to like them. I used to like how they look on me because they photograph ever so well. But I don't know. I just want to be the dirty werewolf running through the woods. That's it. There's a full moon out tonight, but then again, I'm in this town that I'm in, which is in Seattle, and now I'm beginning to think, yeah, I'm in a city where you don't go out at night by yourself, and I don't know anyone here, so might as well call it a curfew. Not all the people look bad. Maybe if I gave them a chance. But that's what happens when you live in America. You don't want to give people chances. You don't want to let people in. You don't want to take on their struggle. I want to take on people's struggle. So that's what I have to do. If I want an America I can be proud of, I have to fucking help people. Help Americans even when they are fucking creepy. Still help them. So maybe I have enough nice people to keep the creepy people out. There's the thought. I knew I would connect the dots eventually. This is what life is. I didn't even get to the part where someone was extremely nice to me, and like I said, I've already, had my violation of my personal my personal items for the day. So when someone offered to help me take my luggage up a steep hill, what was I going to do except say, yeah, please help me? And I did. And then he immediately launched himself into a small diatribe about, did you know that Jesus died for your sins? Did you know that Jesus is alive in him? I don't know. I wish he was able to do a Joe Cocker impression in order to maybe take the sting out of, religious mumbo jumbo of people who forget who they are, because I didn't want to be that person, but I have to. I have to, because I know a lot of people are very interested in zombies, but the zombie lord, zombie Jesus, zombie lord, that was something invented by Roman Catholics. Roman Catholics invented, not history, invented. I'm supposed to support all religions, but it's spread like a meme virus. And now I don't know his name. He told me his name. I forgot his name because he fucking creeped me out. He was so high on Jesus. Like, honestly, do you put Jesus on a line and then snort it? Because dude was just fucking like eyes bogging out his fucking head as he was telling me, Jesus is alive. He did so much for your sin. He died on the cross. Look, I don't know what the fuck he was on about. I'm like, dude, do you not see me in like my fucking finest and my fishnets, looking like a fucking hooker, and consulting with a streetwalker? You're consulting with this fucking streetwalker, going, let me help you with your bag. I'm like, but you want some? You want some, Jesus boy? You want some? Is that why you're fucking helping me? Like, whatever. But I have to remark on the fact that dude is fucking brown as I am. Brown as I am. But even more so because he's got all the features of an indigenous Native American, and he's trying to talk to me about Jesus. Look in the mirror. Look in the mirror. You're not a Roman Catholic, and apparently neither was Jesus. Jesus. Know your history. Know your history. These people fucking came into your land. They raped your fucking family members. They fucking gave you diseases, and now you worship their god. Wow. I've said it before, but I honestly think Latinos are the most confused people ever, because they, in a way, somewhat still celebrate their history, but they still accept the religion that was forced on them by people who murdered and just desecrated their entire lifestyle, brought them out happiness, and put them in this. I don't know. It'll just give me a fucking headache if I think about it because we were happy, we were healthy. There was no fucking diabetes, hypertension. You didn't have that. I'm depressed. Really? That did not exist until these invaders came in and stole your culture from you, stole your history from you, stole your potential in some cases. My people, indigenous tribes across both Americas, were astronomers. They were geniuses, geniuses in math, geniuses in geniuses, geniuses. They were smart as fuck. They were smart as fuck, man. When it came to construction, their pyramids, their large landmarks of forest creatures, snakes and frogs. You can't just do that haphazardly. You have to have such genius level intellects. And now my people are reduced to food trucks. Brilliant medicine men and women, new cures that we will probably never see again in our lives. You want more chimichanga sauce on your tapas. That's it. That's it. The highest of the heights that some of my people get to because they don't know their history, they don't know where they come from. And all they know, because they're so far removed from everything, is chase the white man's dollar by any means necessary, legal and illegal, instead of find the true gold within yourself. It's in your community, it's in your family, it's in your health, it's in how you treat the environment around you, how you respect and honor your ancestors. And now I'm stuck here with these people, Americans, who now cling to this flag. They cling to the American flag and they put it on everything and they don't think, who's America? Whose America am I worshipping? Am I worshipping the rich elite? Am I worshipping the ground itself, which should be included? The air? Is the air not America? I'm sensitive. I can feel the earth. I can see when it's ill. I'm sensitive. Or maybe I'm just indigenous and It's just who I am. It's my lot in life to be an environmentalist and be surrounded by industrialists. On the way to the border, it did tickle my fucking fancy that I saw once again tribal oil in a nice big oil tanker. It's a barrel down the fucking road. Sure, it's got some hazard signs on, but is it enforced? Is it structurally sound as it goes down the road? Is the road itself structurally sound? I don't understand why other Americans don't care about that. I feel bad for those Canadians, but as I said, they said no to me, so eventually I'll have to stop caring. It's not something I know how to do. I can't just turn off caring about my people, even though they're technically not my tribe, but they're brown like me and they're indigenous like me. And what happens there could happen anywhere. It could happen to white people, it can happen to fucking Asian people. These kind of incidents that we have because we're just avoiding avoiding the future. Now, I know Americans are many things, they're not that stupid. They know the future is there. They don't want it. They want to stay as things are. It's almost ritualistic to go to a fucking petrol station and just go fill her up. Makes such a fucking satisfying sound. It's like, ooh, I'm feeding the car, baby. You people are fucking stupid sometimes. Ah, Canadian Spider Man. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the revolution, Canadian Spider Man. I'm Logan. Nice to meet you. Also, Ian Ilion. Do not identify with the color of your skin. That is what they want. Division. Mm, I try not to, especially considering the fact that if I went by my hair sometimes, my hair is red in places because I have a bit of Caucasian in me. Nice to meet you. I'm sorry you had to come into the one day that I'm heartbroken. I'm heartbroken that Canada broke up with me. Canada said, no, you cannot come into Canada. You cannot come into Canada. So here I am in America talking about income equality and racial politics. And you are right, they are very divisive. But also, why can't you support your own people sometimes? Why can't you learn from your own people? I almost feel like white people would be happier if they just lived amongst themselves sometimes and then learn to fucking appreciate community. Because right now, like most white people are just very, very elitist. I mean, I'm an elitist person too. I mean, I'm not devoid of that in me. But as far as division goes,
some division actually makes sense. I've been trying to talk about how gay people and transgender people and bisexuals and all the rest are being hunted by their very own country. And it would make sense to say, you know what, safety in numbers. Even deer and gazelle realize, yeah, yeah, there's a herd. We graze, we enjoy a bit of grass. We enjoy a bit of grass. You like some grass over there? Good, good. I like grass here too. But they're not going to the watering hole by themselves. Do I think that we should force integration? No. I think we actually need to go back a bit, just a bit, and say, work on your own fucking communities. I love having Clint on my channel because he talks a lot about his latent shamanism. His latent shamanism, which is a white trait for him from his white ancestors, that he should be more in touch with, because if he was, he would be a happier person and he would have a gift to share to his own people. I don't expect him to relate to many other people. I don't force that on him. He relates to me and I say thank you, but I still wanted him to be able to enjoy community because he's an older man who needs assistance, needs a community to back him up. And his community wouldn't pay for his medication. His community has him homeless. And for him, he needs a home. He barely has any money for himself. He needs his community. And if that means more white people have to fucking support him, then yeah, that's kind of what that is. It'd be nice if all colors got together in order to support one another, but why not support your fucking people? Hey there, Logan. Nice to meet you. It's us against the rich, no matter what your color or sexual preference. That is true. That is something that I wish straight people understood. But one of the reasons why they hate gay people is because gay people fucking skyrocket. They wear the nicest clothes, they wear the jewelry. They're fucking living like lords and princes, while straight men just don't do that. They're not attracted to that. They don't feel like they need to do that. But if you came together, you would realize you're just not that rich. And the real rich, they're final solutioning everyone. I try to say in every fucking podcast, smog is a way to gas the populace, make them a little bit more stupid because there's not enough oxygen going to their brains. Because every time they go outside and they take a big whiff, they're getting a little less air because that's not air. It's just car exhaust. You breathe car exhaust and you still think you breathe air because none of you have the time to go to the forest and know what true air smells like, tastes like, feels in your body. So you don't have time for that. You gotta get back to your shift. Lunch break is over. Get back to work. Chop chop.
You know, Abraham Lincoln fucking freed the slaves, but I don't think he told white people, you slaves too. You're just slaves. And now, when are you going to, when are you going to say that your life is being diminished by the choices you make? I always put it on the government, man. It's the government, but you're part of it too. When you turn on the ignition and your combustion engine starts rattling that tailpipe and you feel the vibrations and you press the accelerometer, you hear the roar of the engine. You're just opening a flue for a smokestack. It's not that exhilarating, is it, when you think of it that way? You're just poisoning people, poisoning children who try to walk to school. That's what you're doing. You're poisoning them, shortening their lives, shortening their potential. You're poisoning yourselves because you breathe that in too. And it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart that Americans do not see it that way. They laugh, they high five, they write songs about cars. Those machines are fucking killing us all. And we're doing it to each other. The government doesn't even have to lift a finger. And as much as I hate you people for constantly fucking harassing me, I cannot leave you in this kind of fucking state where you have no representation for your best interest. Your best interest is to get oxygen back to your brain, have it as a public good, bring air back to America. I don't know if those words mean anything to anybody. I try. I try. I guess I have to keep trying. The police officer was right. Federale. Your plan didn't work. I guess I have to make a new plan. And the Canadians do have a point. Why am I not fighting any of this abuse with a lawyer? If I have all this evidence, if I have on my YouTube channel these fucking girls gone wild incidents that are never random, why don't I just hire a lawyer? I'm an environmentalist. I should practice environmental law. Personally, it would help if I was an accredited. I can't even try it. I'm not going to try it. If I was a state bar approved lawyer, probably help. But I am an environmentalist, and I guess I can't just turn it off because I'm not in the place that
already has perfection to me. I'm gonna miss the love I thought Canada had for downtrodden people like me, but I guess that was just one-sided. I'm sorry, Mariana's Trench, that I'm just not cool enough that I could afford a hotel to please those border guards because the goddamn Americans stranded me in Seattle and it cost a lot of money to fucking leave there. I'm sorry, Fifi Dobson and Avril Lavigne. I was kind of hoping that if I was a Canadian refugee, I could invite you to my next birthday party. Even with my PTSD, I think we'd still share a love of music and maybe recognize that in each other. Your country said no to me, and I guess I'm just not wanted. My name is Eden Leona. I'm an environmentalist, a human rights activist, a mutant, a werewolf, and an all American reject. Hope to see you on the next podcast.